Mr. President, we don't need another hot-headed, hot-blooded witch hunter of a sports minister. Mr. President, we say no to any corrupt sports minister. Mr. President, we want to know and see things freely. Mr. President, we don't want a sports minister who will be in bed with the Ghana Football Association and be playing full five for the GFA.
Alright, once again, Memo Akwabe BM at the Abba Sports Link Ghana. So I was say at the Nkomo Imuham and Ebro. Na the new baby in town, Sporty FM. Na eho and I heard a nipa mo assembly or more sports journalist a hodona. Enyasem ketwa na ene omodi petition eremu at the Akoma His Excellency John Dramani Mahama with regards to the new sports minister Yeresa Ebe appointed on Sporty FM, the new baby in town. Omo modern at the petition. Eremu Edema President His Excellency John Dramani Mahama na enkomodi die no and a former Blasters player Augustin Ahimfo enso kobo edefa the new Blasters Management Committee ayatia Dr. Randy Abbey and a chairman Vice President Stephen Apia na odinkomo akra edefa Stephen Apia ho oto aso ebonkomo chese ono akasa no si ejano se onkasa obeka se Blasters Management Committee we no emfaso bia ni so nemom no Sankiyete board ema board no ebe national assets nanka enkoyete say Blasters enkoan de Black Queens, Black Maidens, Black Galaxy omunyina de be in charge of sa teams ni nyina nemo enkoye say this current committee na yate no is only for Blasters or say there be esa a waste of money sika say ye na ye say no ense bebre na ekọ so e was Sporty FM inti ebusia without wasting much time dey be remu nyakotie petition first one no petition na Echo President wo ye wi ani akofa Augustin Ahimfo and 7 message oba so subscribe like the pia share efame the new king on the block GH report me say eho no kwenkwa na ye ka no kwen so aggressive wuti a wo yembe hye wuti wram GH report na ko subscribe e ma me yenwemu na yenkotie petition ya Raymond on Sporty FM what the come President.
Good morning, Mr. President. Your Excellency. Congratulations on your historic victory during the 2024 polls and your subsequent swearing in as the sixth president of the Fourth Republic. Mr. President, your message in your quest to become president was heavy on resetting Ghana, and we in the sports ecosystem are ready to hold you to your word because we need a thorough and complete reset of sports in Ghana. This reset, we believe, will begin with the appointment of a befitting and competent sports and recreation minister. Your Excellency, over the last few days, the presidency communication wing has been busy dropping names of ministerial nominees for various ministries. But conspicuously missing from the list of nominees is the name of the Minister of Sports and Recreation. The delay, I want to believe, is because of how meticulous the selection process has been. This is my firm belief. But that notwithstanding, Mr. President, let me not remind you that one of the lows of your first term in office was how your sports minister couldn't organize a piss-up in a brewery, resulting in your government having to airlift $3 million to Brazil during the 2014 World Cup. An action that was nothing short of a huge national disgrace. I believe this is a past you so desperately want to erase by leaving a better legacy this time round. If so, Mr. President, we don't want another sports minister cast in his mold. Never again should we see our sports minister cry like a baby at the table of accountability. Never again. Mr. President, you presented us again with another sports minister who entered office with a prejudiced view of the people he was going to work with. He rattled every cage in sight. The GFA and the national team were his main target. It was all war from the warlord of a minister. In the end, problems that needed to be fixed persisted even after his departure. Mr. President, we don't need another hot-headed, hot-blooded witch hunter of a sports minister. whose approach to solving problems in the ministry leaves us with nothing but division. Never again. Mr. President, we don't want a sports minister who will only be concerned about the Black Stars or only be concerned about raising funds to support Black Stars' participation in tournaments at the expense of other national teams and sport federations. We don't want a minister who will be excited to share us an achievement airlifting party faithfuls and supporters to international tournaments as a reward for their loyalty to the party. Hey, no Yabana Aba episode anymore. Mr. President, we don't want a sports minister with questionable integrity. We don't want a sports minister who will see every budget presented to him as an opportunity to become a billionaire. The familiar phrase, "what is in it for me," should never drop from the lips of the man or woman you wish to appoint. We say no to any corrupt sports minister. Mr. President, we don't want a sports minister who won't be transparent, hiding contracts of national team coaches paid by the taxpayer, and budgets for tournaments have been the norm at the sports ministry. Mr. President, we want to know and see things freely. Mr. President, we don't want a sports minister who will be in bed with the Ghana Football Association and be playing full five for the GFA. We need proper oversight that demands accountability and a conscious effort to protect the public purse. We don't want a chop make a chop sports minister. Mr. President, before I sign off,
it's here.
We don't want a minister who views his critics as enemies or political opponents who are seeking his downfall.
Sure.
Okay.
We shall support a listening sports minister. Finally, Mr. President, this is no time for Matra Makwe.
Sure.
Finally, Mr. President, this is no time for Matra Makwe. It is time for you to leave a legacy in Ghana sports. It is now or never. Let your appointment reflect your bold vision for Ghana sports development. The Sports and Recreation Ministry must be dealt a good hand. You owe Ghanaians that, Mr. President. Good luck to you and good morning.
Right, Ebusia, eti ensemo ena onya bia wutie ye wey the new baby in town, Sporty FM, ena ohwa Raymond ede letter no ekoma His Excellency John Dramani Mahama yempe minister bia wone efe no ba 4 and 5 ene no omodampa mu jije omahome na yenso na yesofa yempe search minister no yenwa mu ni enkotie Augustine Ahimfo wono so nsem oka ye edifa the new constituted Blasters Management Committee na yatie no was he is not in support of it onu de eka onu nko a enka yenya board mom yenya board national board enfama yen national teams no not say we a Blasters Management Committee ni akwakonya Black Queens Management Committee ni akonya Black Galaxies Management Committee ni nyina a waste of money Augustine Ahimfo a Blasters former player yenko tie ne nsem no emra
Nathan, I've served on the management committee before, National Under 20. But I feel, where I'm sitting, I feel that it would be better for us to have a national management board, more or less.
Okay.
That probably should not have only so-called football people on. That can always come on board and then look at the affairs of the various national teams that we have. Assuming we have 10 national team board and the Blaster is coming to play Chad, and Fifi Bansin and Gary are delegated to be in charge of that particular game, that's fine. From the board. Because you have workers within the FA setup that can do anything that a management committee member can do. Alex Asante is there, he has his people. If it comes to players' invitations and all, he is done by him. And so I always have the, because there are a lot of people there serving on committees, and you ask yourself, what are they really doing? In as much as you meet and look at the plans of the particular national team that you are attached to, and then dialogue and see the way forward, I think basically we don't really do anything. Seriously, because I have been in meetings while serving on the technical committee of the FA where management committee members didn't even know that the players they wanted to invite were above the age category team that those players were being invited.
You're
Yes.
kidding.
And me as a committee member, immediately I saw the list, I knew that half of the players submitted to us were above the ages. So I told Uncle Ben Kofi that, look, Uncle Ben, these players that they've invited cannot play under 23. And they were arguing. So finally had to invite Mr. Alex Asante. He came in and asked, Alex, so these players that we've invited, what year bonds do we really need? He said, oh, uncle, from January 1997, going. And there were players who were born 1993, 92, thereabout, in the team.
Wow. And nobody checked.
And seriously, the committee members were arguing vehemently that the players had to be invited. It was when Alex came and said that these 97 January players are the players that we are supposed to actually invite. It became a confusion in the meeting. So if it is that important, they should be able to know and also advise the coach or the technical team in charge of that particular team on the players that they need to invite. So for me, in as much as I've served on it before, I feel that, because don't forget that at any given time, when the national team is traveling, that particular team is traveling, it's only 2 members plus the chairman of the committee. And that joins the team to travel. Only committee, 2 committee members.
Wow.
Yes. Imagine me, a technical person playing national team under 20, have played Black Stars, have served on the technical committee as a member of the under 20 management team. And then we are going into a tournament, I'm not part of it. You see, it serves like a support base to the technical head.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did coaching with Celastete, Calf License B course with him. I've been with him. And he's a coach of a particular national team, of which I'm a board member or a management committee member. And then we go to training tour in Turkey because they know I could speak the language.
Yeah.
I was part of the team in Turkey. But then when we're going into the tournament itself, I wasn't part. So what will be the use of me, who has played the game before, being on the committee that will not go to the tournament that you might need my help? So for me, in as much as they still continue to do that, I feel that we should have a board, if it's a 10-member, 15-member, where people who are not into this day-to-day running of football in the country can also be part.
Okay.
For them to offer their advice going forward. For me, that is where I'm coming from. I would prefer that we do that.
One board that
is there.
supervises all national
That
teams.
at any given time, if it's the Black Maidens, the Black Queens, the Black Star, the Satellite, at any given time, we can just take 2 or 3 people from there to look at. Let's say Black Star is coming to play in Kumasi. So they have to go there, look at the hotel where we'll be sleeping and blah, 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 training field, buses that we... They can do it within that space because the workers of the FA who are paid daily are there to do that.
Okay.
Yes. If we are supposed to go for visas, Mr. Alex Asante is there to do that. Manual committee member will not go to the embassy to go and get the visa for the players. So I will hope that going forward we'll change that way. Yes, because a lot of people are clamoring to be on the committee. So if I guess I want to be on the committee, then when things are not going well, I cannot speak about it. Because they would see you as not being a team player, which is wrong. A team player does not mean that when you are not doing things right, he or she should keep quiet. No. You should be able to prompt the person that, look, this thing that you are doing will not take us anywhere. Have a look at it and change it. It's always good that even at home, not because Fifi is my brother, everything that he does, I have to support him. No. We have to look at it and change our way of looking at it. Seriously.
Well,
all right, Ebusianti and Semino, and I would be a would see Yano, it was Sporty FM, the new baby in town. Ain't it would see and some echo senior, and which time my sister said, yet the Faber was so. Pah! Yet the bar, yet in 70 pound, the Faber was on the BBI, I come. Ewo GH report so ehoni de eye fabo so no krankwan ye ka ho no kran so no wan hwe a ebe wo ebe kan enti ram ewo GH report ne ko subscribe me say honi de enche bia ye ka ne mabom na ya pe WhatsApp lines ne mo Ghana hanso ye the number mo betima free direct any MTN Vodafone cry wobetimi dia friend live but omo wa ma no mo be use WhatsApp na mo frɛ fabe wo so na mo akye mo adwene honom na bibia so ayede aye kama iti mesra ni di no boko aso on say Ghana football dey ensem bebre ye Premier League ni nyane bebre na enkoye it is so anything around the football and I say around our football anything be a social trends ade bia say ye kan ho asem ye de ba fa be wo so ye bia no ye de be ba ho no ba be che wa adwene ye be ba live na so wa che wa adwene e dey e wo so e de ma medi e de Kobe na betima frɛ me Kobe finest yes abishia